Alright, I'm glad I remembered this video. Let me get comfortable. Just got back to the house. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. I'm gonna get myself together on camera, but I do appreciate everybody sharing the video. The best way you can donate to the channel is share the video with somebody else. I got a lot of Lion fans, obviously, a lot of Detroit fans, obviously. A lot of people that's, not a fan of Detroit sports team, but they like the channel, so I do appreciate that, man. But I'm trying to get them waves spinning, before I go to Vegas. But yeah, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. See, I keep hearing people in the chat, oh, Detroit Lions, Detroit Lions, ain't got no defense. They rank last in defense. People gotta look at this. Detroit Lions offense ranked 10th, right? At one point, it was ranked 10th. Does that look like a top 10? I think it was a passing offense. Do that look like a top 10 passing offense? No. But people forget. You talk about offense, then we talk about defense as a whole. People forget about the Lions' defense. Offense is that Matthew Stafford has never consistently went up the field and scored touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? He never went up the field and scored touchdowns. I haven't seen the Lions score touchdowns since, Brett Perriman and them back in Barry Sanders back in the 90s. People say, well, the defense. No, the Lions, I see the Lions go 3-0. See the Lions manufacture drives and settle for 3. That's the issue. That's one of the issues. It's not the biggest issue, but Matthew Stafford has never been consistently going up the field scoring touchdowns. That's Detroit Lions' fault. Neither was John Kennedy, neither Joey Harrington, Jeff Garcia, Dante Culpepper, whoever you want to say. The Lions offense put the defense in a bad predicament. We're talking about the games the Lions offense won. What game did the Lions offense win? Because the defense did the job versus Chicago. Even though they had some injuries and they gave us some points, ultimately what changed the first Chicago Bear game around was that Stafford threw that pick on the RPO to Marvin Jones. Talking about the Arizona game, Galladay was huge, in that game. Not that he was good as a decoy, but he had 100 yards in that game. But ultimately, it was the defense shutting down Kyler Murray that hadn't been done to that point in the season, I don't believe. You talk about the Jacksonville Jaguar game. Okay, we can say who won that game. The second Chicago game, the defense won it. We talking about Detroit Lions game. The defense gave up this many points, and this, that, and the third. But the Detroit Lions offense wasn't scoring points, throwing picks and all types of stuff. Not saying the defense wasn't their fault, but it ain't a playoff caliber offense. And they had the offensive coordinator this year. They had, Stafford was healthy multiple games. People say, Darrell Bevel was the difference. Okay, whatever. But Arizona was the defense. Jacksonville won't get to offense. Go ahead. All right. Stafford didn't do shit. It was a running game. Atlanta, Kenny Galladay made the catch, but then again, they held Julio Jones and a healthy Atlanta team to 22 points. Defense. The Washington football game, give it to the offense. Chicago Bears second game, it was a defense. So come on, that's my thing. People want to act like the defense was terrible, and it was, but the offense was just as terrible. It was. But offensively, that's what happened in New England. They still had a solid defense with people opting out, but offensively, it was Tom Brady that made that system click. But moving on, we could talk about the defense. And the number one problem with the defense was the philosophy. That's the number one problem with the defense. It was the philosophy. When you believe in rushing 3 or 4 and playing man to man on the back end, even when you mix it with coverage, if you playing two deep shell, or you play a single high, you robbing, people know it's man to man. Even let's say you playing two men under, right? And you playing man to man underneath, and you rushing 4. Let's say you dropping 1 in the coverage and you rushing 3. The NFL too different. To rush 3. You can't jam the receiver off the field. It's a 5-yard chuck rule. You got so many man beaters. When you're talking about corners, especially if I can sit out there and write the corner route, double move, jerk. Posting them. The philosophy people is forgetting is trash. They didn't believe in blitzing. They didn't believe at disguising, putting everybody at the line of scrimmage, single high and bailing out to coverage. They didn't believe in, stun. They didn't believe in, they didn't believe in Nothing. Nothing exotic. Nothing exotic. At least Jim Shores, they had a dominant front four where they can get away with playing coverage. That's the number one thing wrong with the defense. Not the quarterback, not the offense, the philosophy. The philosophy is, look at Tampa Bay. What upgrades would they really got when Todd Bowles got there? William Golston been there, Vita Vea been there, and Ndamukong Suh been there, Levante David, Devin Smith been there. The only major one I seen was them probably cutting Vernon Hargraves and them bringing in Antoine Winfield Jr. What was the biggest difference in Tampa defense? Other than Tom Brady, it was Todd Bowles. Tom Brady leadership was great, but Todd Bowles was the best. He didn't have the best secondary neither. But Todd Bowles showing pressure, disguising defenses, he shut down Aaron Rodgers for most of that game. Todd Bowles was the biggest difference in that defense. So the defensive player, especially the front seven, that's been the same. Jason Pierre-Paul too, he been there though. That's been the same. What was the biggest difference in Tampa this year? It wasn't Antoine Winfield Jr. It wasn't Tom Brady. It was Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles was the biggest difference maker in Tampa Bay defense. It wasn't Bruce Arians. He been doing that shit for he been there for years. Dude. Todd Bowles was the biggest difference maker. So if you got the defensive roster, that's made up of the same players, the difference was without Todd Bowles, what would happen to that defense? Come on, without Todd Bowles, what would have happened to that defense? To that team, they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl without Todd Bowles. Unless they can find an upgrade. And defensively, there's only a few upgrades, bigger than him. And that's starting off with Tom Brady. With Bill Belichick. Todd Bowles is a hell of. He been there since 2019. Or excuse me, I didn't know that. He been there since 2019. Hold on, I'll make sure I got that right. But this year was different. He was more calm. But this year he was the biggest difference. Him and Tom. But I didn't know he was that big. 6'2", 230 pounds. He played for the Redskins, the 49ers. Redskins, 49ers, Redskins again. He was drafted out of Temple, out of Elizabeth, New Jersey. But his defensive play calling this year was a lot better, man. And obviously Tom leadership and consistent quarterback play. But Tom turned the ball off a lot of times. Todd turned that ball a tremendous amount of times. He turned it over this year. But yeah, man, we talking about the Lions defense. The philosophy, the conductor. I don't know if Aaron Glenn is an upgrade from the Matt Patricia. It's not a hard upgrade to be, but the difference gonna be disguising, pressure, being able to coach. Remember, I forget who it was. Was it Ashawn Robinson? My neck hurt, excuse me. But was it Ashawn Robinson that said that? It wasn't. I think it was Ashawn. He said that or it wasn't Ashawn. I forget who it was. It might have been Ashawn. He said that Matt Patricia, it was y'all boy, big fella, that went to Green Bay, Damon Harrison. He said it was Matt Patricia didn't teach them the right way. He said that he couldn't articulate them what he wanted to do, and that was the biggest difference. And that's the difference, dude. People talk about the defense; they play the same defense. How can you expect to have a good defense when you're playing coverage? And you're not disguising the coverage. You're not blitzing. It worked versus the Rams. They worked to slowing the Chiefs down a couple years ago. But ultimately, NFL is going to figure out what you're doing, and they're going to expose you. It wasn't that, they were talking about Justin Coleman. Justin Coleman had not had a chance. The slot, you can go two ways in the slot. You can go right, left. The difference between outside and the slot, outside you got the boundary to give you comfort. In the slot, so he covering people in the slot one-on-one with no pressure. That's what people don't understand. The lack of pressure hurt everybody. You putting Jamie Collins in coverage. You put in not Tracy Walker, but the corners on the islands without pressure. without overloading, without showing pressure, bailing out. People don't understand pressure. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Shut up. All the social media links, description. Faster by reaching me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. Links to description. Want to make a donation? Little dogs bark. Donation, Cash App. Shut up! Cash App CJ Good 313. That's the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Sorry for the dog. Peace.